Hey there everyone, this is Edward with sunvapers.com, and I want to talk really briefly about the IPV D2. This product I've been excited about for a long time. I get to make a preview video with the test version, and in a minute we'll break it down and show you what it's all about. Before we begin, I want to just say a special thank you to the people at KMG Imports and Wholesales over in Irvine, California. Not only do they have a great wholesale service for Pioneer for You products, but they also offer a great warranty service. That means after you get the product and it fails, you can send it back to them, or you can send it back to us if you buy it from us, and we'll handle the warranty. Well, it's really nice in this industry to be able to have a certain amount of protection against bad products, because since I've been doing this, I have several $1,000s of just burnt merchandise, upset customers, and just a lost trust in the vaping community, or smokers where their first experience is getting a mod that didn't even last a month. And I can say a lot of people went through that and went back to smoking. It's really nice to have this product and have a team like KMG and Pioneer for You working together to help small business owners like me keep happier customers and stay more profitable for the long haul. Here's a mod right here. It's a small mod. I believe it's 78 millimeters tall by 40 millimeters wide, and I'm not sure about this width right here. If you want to compare it to something that's already on the market, we got a Kangertech sub box right there. So, and we can look at it like this, get an idea of how big it is. Now, a big deal to a lot of people has been, how do you recharge it aside from taking the battery out? Well, it's like the Kanger, you take the battery out from there. This one is a little, I think actually a little cooler. You can slide it down. It has grooves for sliding down, or you pull it out like that. And you guys can see how I did that right there. How the battery comes out. Pull the battery out with just this little ribbon, and I'm going to put the battery back in. Now keep in mind the positive is facing down. If you put it upside down, it doesn't short out, it doesn't smoke. So it does have reverse battery polarity protection. Probably one of the easiest batteries to install on the market. No screws, no having to get your fingernail behind anything. It's a significant improvement over the IPV Mini 1 and 2, because that little cap on the bottom has really thin threads made out of brass that's chrome plated. It can be hard to put on there, and you wind up stripping it out. This is a huge improvement, hands down. Not trying to upsell you guys. Let's take a look at the wattage. You can see it climb, and let me know when it's all the way at the bottom. So 5 watts, so it can handle something like a Kanger Pro Tank or something like an Atlantis 2. Now, we're not going to go into temperature control for this introduction, but I want to say it does do titanium and it does do nickel. I don't have any of those to test, and that's why I'm not going to go into that video, that section of the video. But I want to say it's probably going to get reviewed by a lot of people, and because of its popularity, there's not going to be any shortage of people touching the temperature control features of the product. But just know that it is there. Now, one thing that I think is a big deal, or possibly a deal breaker for many people, is, if you notice, where's the USB connection? It doesn't have a USB micro connection. It just uses a USB, and this comes in a box connector. So if you want to charge it, and you can see the whole thing right here, you should see a red light, and my cameraman will zoom in on that. I would assume that this is not upgradable, and my opinion on upgrades is I feel like the product should come out of the box already ready to go. Now I can understand that temp control you may want to change the chart, you know, the resistance to how many watts to how much temperature, yada yada. But as far as upgrading devices, I kind of think that's a little bit on the gimmicky side, and I think a lot of my customers, the crowd that I cater to, would agree. So I'm not too concerned about upgrading this. And my thoughts on this as a charging port, well, if you've ever ran a vape shop and had to replace a product, you replace a lot of products for broken USB ports. I have a feeling that this is going to cut that down. So it might be a deal breaker for some of you, but really I think a lot of people will get over it pretty fast. If you need to carry this around, you know, it's not as convenient as a micro USB, but for what it lacks in convenience, it makes up for in sturdiness. So hopefully they really built this well, and we're not submitting warranty claims for broken USB connectors. Likewise, I mean, going back to the whole battery slide off thing, how hard can this be? So with that in mind, I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker for most people. Alright, so I got a Triton right here, and I have the IPV D2 Mini. And Triton's a brand new product, and I'll talk about it briefly. It's basically both a sub-ohm tank and a mini Nautilus style tank all in one. It can take both a low wattage coil and a high wattage coil, and it's a top filling tank. So you set it to a certain mode and you can get in there and fill it in from the top. The disadvantage to this is we found it hard to clean the inside of the tank. It's just something people should know about. Maybe there's a way to unscrew the tank, but we haven't explored that yet. We've only had the product for one day. I definitely think the Aspire Triton and the IPV D2 are going to be very popular products, at least with my business. And look at that threading, very little wiggle. I love those threads that are stainless steel, because if you've ever owned a vape shop, you get a lot of people strip threads. I have not experienced that with the IPV Pioneer for You products. So we're going to do 50 watts with, is it a 0.4 ohm coil in the end, Jordan?
Yes, sir.
Great flavor, great vapor production. The Triton's going to be definitely a real good tank to top off with this. I mean, look how stunning that looks by itself. And another thing I noticed is the height. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're roughly the same height. Really impressive setup right here. I always think when you're charging a lithium-ion battery, especially in something small that fits in your hand that generates heat, strongly recommend taking off your atomizer and just letting it charge, or just take the battery out and charge it in a charger. A spring-loaded center pin. We can see. Now I want to show you guys something that I really liked. Now look how it's not all the way in. Nope, no atomizer. Is that what it says? So it gives you some flexibility, and I don't feel like it's going to break if you push it in too deep. I love these spring-loaded center pins. I think it's the de facto standard in vaping. I wish more companies would have spring-loaded center pins. I don't want to see a screwdriver stuck in there. I don't want people adjusting it themselves. I really think in 2015 we should have an acceptable standard of how a 510 pin should be shaped. But at the current, it seems like there's just, other than the thread pattern and the pitch and all that, it doesn't seem like there's any standard. That's frustrating to me because I've replaced so many products with strip threads, center pins that have been pushed through, or center pins that just don't touch. Let's talk about the warranty. One of the things that I love about Pioneer for You, on top of their products, is that they offer a real warranty. I've been doing this business 3 years. I've tried to redeem warranties. It really is a hassle, and it's almost unreal. A lot of times you wonder if the warranty is just going into the shipping costs on your next product or your next batch. And a lot of times you don't get it replaced right away. It takes quite a while. Pioneer For You does it differently. They have a U.S. service center. If the customer brings it back to me, usually within 30 days, we just handle it free of charge. After 30 days, we ask for a small fee for shipping, but we handle all the communication and trade-off. That's amazing to me because not only do I get to sell them a good product, but I also get to show them that we're more than just a company that flips products. So for me, the biggest innovation in this industry is a real-world warranty.